What's up, everybody? My name's Chris Cross. I'm here with Bulletproof Troop. We're here at Seal Beach at FightersRep 7 Fighting Prides, a first of its kind event. You want to tell them a little bit about it, Bulletproof?
So tonight we're going to have a team versus team event. With every match, there's a potential 3 points that a team can take home. A first point for winning the match, a second point for putting your opponent away, and a potential third point for putting your opponent away in the first round. At the end of the night, each team's points will be added up and divided by the number of fighters they have on the card. The highest average points per fighter on each team will take home the first ever FightersRep Lions Cup.
I don't know about you, but I'm looking forward to some exciting fights tonight.
At the end of the night, wins the Lions Cup. FightersRep 7 Fighting Prides is a United Rules kickboxing event. What does that mean, ladies and gentlemen? It's 100% knock down, drag out, stand and bang kickboxing action. So if you, or if you're anyone you know out here, is afraid of having a good time, scared of excitement, we got you in the back and the front, y'all can bring it back. Before we get started, I'd like to give a huge shout out to our sponsors. CNEXS Wear apparel company. Defy all odds and write your own name at CNEXSwear.com. FreightMaster USA. Logistics through innovation, dedication, and technology. Follow them on Instagram at FreightMaster USA. FM Logistics Corporation. We have Herrera moving forward. Make sure to follow them at FM Logistics Corporation. Supremamix, micheladas. The official white dress michelada. You might hear it show. They are absolutely delicious. Also, don't forget to check out our sponsor, Beast Coast Unlimited. Check them out on Instagram, Beast Coast Unlimited. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you right now to get up and show some love. Are you ready? Because we're about to throw down right now. Fighting out
Gentlemen, welcome to Seal Beach Fighters Rep 7 Fighting Prides. We are here at our first fight. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here with the first fight. This is Chris Cross. I'm here with Bulletproof Troop, and we'll be your host and commentators tonight. How you doing, Bulletproof?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm really excited to watch this fight. We have two guys that are both over 6 feet tall at 175 pounds. I'm really interested to see how both these guys play the long man range and how Bryce Mongillo is able to deal with the size of Kamichki, because he's a big boy, man, and he's throwing those legs high quick.
Yeah, Kamichki's coming out hot here. He's pouring it on him here, Bulletproof.
He is. He's coming. He's coming with blitz attacks. He set it up with those straight punches early.
The referee's looking on closely. Looking real close here. I think we got a standing 8 already.
Standing 8. Or no, it's just fixing the equipment. Okay, standing 8 count.
Standing 8, and he's going to get a time here to fix his headgear.
Kamichki came out tough, man. He came out really throwing. I'm really impressed with some of the stuff he threw. He threw some good straight attacks and some head kicks early on.
Yeah, it looks like that head kick landed for sure.
I'm really impressed with the size of Kamichki. 6'5", being able to make 175 pounds. Even Bryce, he's 6'2", and he has significant size difference. And those legs on Kamichki are proving to be a weapon in this fight.
Yeah, it looks like Bryce wants to use his hands a little bit more. Kamichki's doing a great job staying on the outside and using those legs. Great push kick there. And you'll notice, ladies and gentlemen, they have headgear on and shin guards. Majority of our fights will have gear on tonight.
Kamichki's staying on with the pressure, and I think the pressure is paying off for him. He's really seemed to overwhelm Bryce here.
Here we go. We got another standing 8, I believe.
And he's putting him in a bad position, but he's not necessarily doing a ton of damage that he's really rocked, but he's for sure landing shots and putting Bryce in a bad spot. Those are definitely both good standing 8 counts, but he's definitely not in a position where the fight shouldn't necessarily be stopped. But man, he's landing and putting pressure on Bryce and putting him in a very bad place.
Bryce has got to be careful here, because one more standing 8, I believe that the fight will be called.
He just seems to be overwhelmed by Kamichki's size and pressure.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Kamichki's not even necessarily sticking with the straight attacks and utilizing his range.
Yeah.
He's just getting inside, keeping the pressure and brawling on Bryce.
There, that's it.
And the referee waves it off. I believe that was a good call.
I think we stopped the fight here.
The fans here at Fighters Rep love that.
Oh yeah, and what a way to kick off the night with a finish.
Absolutely. And for the fans at home, if you like seeing fights like this, click the link below, grab a Fighters Rep t-shirt. The majority of the proceeds go directly back into the company. So if you like watching fights like this, buy a shirt and come support our business.
And tonight here at Fighters Rep 7, it's a very unique and one-of-a-kind event here, where it's a team event almost. Do you want to explain the points here?
So tonight at Fighters Rep 7 Fighting Prides, we're doing a team versus team setup. And what that means is that if each match, a team's able to earn up to 3 points. 1 point for winning the fight, a 2nd point for putting your opponent away, and a 3rd point for putting your opponent away in the 1st round. So here we've seen that Mark Kamichki just got his team 3 points. At the end of the night, each team's points will be added up and then divided by the number of fighters they had on the card. The highest average of points per fighter, the team will get awarded the Fighters Rep 7 Lions Cup, first of its kind.
And that a way to kick off the night there with a 3-point first round finish.
Absolutely, a very dominant fight. You know, Kamichki came out hard and he was throwing, and he really, some of those straight punches and landed what looked like, I think it was a lead head kick that really started off this blitzing attack. Got 2 standing 8 counts, and the pressure was just overwhelmed Mongillo.
Yeah, absolutely. And hats off to Magillo. He stayed in there for as long as he could until the ref called it.
Absolutely. He definitely was, like when I say he got the standing 8 count, he wasn't necessarily in a crazy rocked position, but he was not intelligently defending himself. And after 3 times in one round of that happening, I think that was the right call for the ref to wave that off.
Oh, 100%, absolutely.
I'm interested to see what Kamichki's able to do because he is a big boy at 175 pounds.
Yeah, I'd like to see his gas tank. If he's going to keep up the pressure like that, I would have liked to see him in the 2nd or the 3rd round and see if he can keep up that pressure.
Or if guys are able to take him that far, because the way that he had that overwhelming pressure, I could see that preventing a lot of guys from going beyond the 1st round for the official decision.
At a quick finish to our 1st round, we'll be moving on to our 2nd fight of the night. We'll also have headgear and shin guards. 3 2-minute rounds. Ladies and gentlemen, most of our fights tonight will be 3 2-minute rounds. We do have one title fight on the card tonight. Is Gino versus Wilson Ha, 5-round 2-minute fight, and they'll have no headgear and no shin gear.
I'm really looking forward to watching that fight. I watched Wilson Ha fight last time. I don't remember who it was that he competed against, but it was a fantastic match. I think it ended up being a split decision for the belt, but what a fight that was. I always look forward to watching Wilson Ha get in the ring and throw down, because he does that.
Oh yeah, he's a very exciting fighter. He brings the pressure. He's got those thick legs, man, and he throws those leg kicks hard.
Well, Sid Yadong guys are no joke, man. It's a top kickboxing gym here in Southern California, so it's always entertaining to watch their guys fight. Gilbert Nakatami, one of their guys who had just went pro in MMA, came out and had a dominant 1st round finish at Lights Out about a month ago. So I'm a big fan of these Sid Yadong guys, man. They can kick some serious butt.
All right, and with the 2nd fight of the night, we're going to be at 142 pounds here, Bulletproof.
I'm looking forward to this. Karen Darbedian is in the corner of Hamza Trad, who's coming out right now. Karen Darbedian has been in the fight game for a very long time. He's very well known in the mixed martial arts world. So I'm excited to see what this guy's able to do. I haven't heard of Hamza, but having Karen in your corner is a big name guy to be bringing you out. So I know he's getting some serious training with legitimate opponents.
Yeah, so it looks like this is Hamza's 3rd fight here. He's 1-0 in kickboxing, and I think he's 0-1 in MMA. So like you said, he's rather new face, but it's exciting to see, especially with a big name guy in his corner.
Absolutely.
And Antonio
so next
Grant.
we got Antonio Grant coming out of North Hollywood. He's also 0-1 in amateur kickboxing. An interesting thing about Antonio, he's 6 foot at 142 pounds, which is a big boy, man.
And looking at the two fighters, I don't necessarily see a huge difference in length, but like you said, he's 6 foot. Hamza's 5'9", so we'll see if he can do that, how he works with that.
Both amateurs look very calm and collected, being 0-1.
Bulletproof. Let's get this second fight going. Hopefully we get some fireworks like the first one.
Both fighters look calm and collect, like I was saying, and I'm interested to see how this takes off. You know, both guys, neither guy looks too aggressive or gun shy, so I'm interested to see how both these guys come out. They look ready to fight.
Yep, and here we go. They meet in the middle with a touch of the gloves, and we're on our way. Hamza's looking like he's working that traditional Muay Thai stance with that very light on the front leg.
They're both definitely feeling each other out, testing the range and seeing what the other person. There we go. Antonio Grant steps in throwing, and Hamza comes back with a head kick. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Little slip from Grant.
Jumping high kick. Oh, good knee. Oh, he's coming after him now.
Very aggressive fight.
I'm
enjoying this fight so far, man. These kids came to throw down.
Oh yeah, Hamza's throwing some great feints in between too, if you see.
Absolutely. Something else that Hamza's doing is he's switching his stance, which is re-chambering what his power side is. Right now he's in an orthodox stance. Ooh.
Oh, nice leg kick. Puts down Antonio Grant for a second. Antonio Grant sporting looks like a Floyd Mayweather guard.
Boy, that was a nice knee. Didn't really seem to land, but that's going to be a dangerous thing.
Oh, a big head kick from Hamza. We're going to get a standing 8 count here.
That was a very nice head kick by Hamza.
Oh yeah, he jumped into that head kick. Looking over to his corner, they're telling him to relax and be patient.
Hamza keeps the pressure on. Another high kick. Lands inside the guard, but still some damage going to Antonio Grant with that head kick.
Oh yeah. Hamza senses something here, and he's coming after him.
Hamza definitely smells blood, but Antonio Grant's not lying down for him. He is fighting back.
He's a game opponent for sure.
Another nice high left head kick.
Wow, nice check hook. Good knee, Hamza. It's a very high-paced fight here.
Absolutely. Hamza seems to have a little bit of a traditional martial arts background in terms of the way that he's popping in and out and using those lead leg kicks and spinning off the... Another spinning attack.
Another spinning attack. Here we go. Looks like we're going to make it to our second round of the night, but after an exciting first round.
Absolutely, you know, and that fight absolutely could have been finished in that first round. Hamza got that standing 8 count. Had the referee not given him a standing 8 count there, it definitely could have been a potential time where he could have gotten put down.
Oh yeah, he landed that beautiful head kick. Checking out Antonio Grant's corner here.
I'm a big fan of the aggression from both fighters. Obviously, Hamza seemed to have gotten the better of it in that round, but Antonio didn't slow down or didn't get gun shy at all during that. Especially when he started eating some shots, he would immediately throw back, which is always interesting to see with guys. I always tell people you can really see what somebody's made of when they're in a bad position. And when Antonio Brown started eating shots, he didn't curl up, he didn't quit, he didn't look for a way out. He bit down on his mouthpiece and started throwing back, and that always makes for exciting fights. And that's what we like to have here at FightersRep, exciting fights.
Oh yeah. And like we talked about for that first round, Bulletproof, we're going to look at these guys' gas tanks now that we're in the second.
I'm definitely interested to see how they're able to keep this pace up, because that was a very high-paced first round.
Very exciting. Here we go. Round number 2 starts with the glove touch. Yep. Hamza looking very calm. Looks like Antonio's
coming out and trying to put it on Hamza before Hamza starts putting it on him.
Yeah, we're going to see if he's going to try to push the pace here.
Hamza's very good at the pressure fighting from what we saw in the first round, so Antonio realizes he cannot be the one moving backwards. He's got to be the one pressing forward.
Good leg kick by Hamza there.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow, jumping knee.
Nice combinations of attack by Hamza as well. He's not just...
And that's the fight. Another second round finish for Hamza Trod. Woo! And show of athleticism off of the corner. That was pretty impressive.
Very cool. A great show of athleticism.
That was impressive.
It looks like we might be having the doctor coming in to check his eye. I don't know if he got maybe a toe in the eye with that.
With the head kick, I think he did. Might have grazed him on the eye.
That left head kick was the story of that fight, though. He got the standing 8 count in the first round, and then he just finished the fight with the closing out a combination with that lead head kick.
Yeah,
congratulations to Hamza. That was a fantastic performance by him.
Great fight. And again, of course, hats off to Antonio Grant, a game opponent, didn't back down.
100%. You know, 100%. He didn't back down, and that was another exciting fight. Like I said, we love to have exciting fights here at FightersRep. So if you want to help support FightersRep, click the link below and grab a t-shirt.
Yeah, and tonight these finishes are going to add up at the end of the night for that Lions Cup. So the second round finish means a 2 point?
2 points. So 1 point for winning, a 2nd point for putting your opponent away. So 2 of 3 possible points. A 3rd point had he won in the first round, which he came very close to. But so we have 2 points for Karan Darbedian's MMA gym, and 3 points for Kamishki's team. I'm not sure what team that is at the moment. We'll keep you guys posted on the score, though.
And Antonio Grant gets his eye checked out. You got to be impressed with Hamza's fighting ability going backwards. Not a lot of guys can do that.
Absolutely. I'm impressed because not only was he able to score going backwards, it looked like he got that KO moving backwards, but also forward, which is a big thing. A lot of guys, he had great pressure moving forward, but being able to fight backwards is a big asset as well.
And with the official decision,
great show of respect between the fighters as well. It's always awesome when you get in and you fight a guy where now both guys, you really see what a guy's made of. And both these guys have to have respect for each other after a performance like that, because neither one of them curled up, and they're both game opponents. You know, obviously Hamza came away with the win, but always exciting to watch 2 guys like that and then shake hands afterwards and show respect.
Oh, yeah. And even though you're fighting against somebody, you go through something with that person. You form a special bond with them. It's very different, very different.
100%. So next we have Kita Omura coming out of Black House Redondo. And I've actually done a good amount of training with Kita Omura. And man, this kid's tough. I believe this is his 2nd fight with FightersRep. He's a tough kid, man. I'm really excited to see what he does tonight.
And this fight will be at 132 pounds. So we're gonna see these guys, a little smaller guys. We're gonna see the pace probably stay up here with this fight.
So he has fantastic kickboxing. He trains under Coach Miguel Jacob, who trains out of Black House headquarters and is the head coach of Muay Thai at Black House Redondo. He's a stud, and Kita is one of his projects, so I'm really interested to see what Kita brings to the ring tonight.
And tonight he'll be fighting Angel Lopez. He's fighting out of Anaheim, California. He's a 0-1 right now in kickboxing, so he's the 2nd fight tonight.
Okay, it's the same. All right, cool. Okay.
All right, and again, this fight is at 132. We'll have another 3 rounds with 2 minutes, headgear and shin guards. Let's see if we can keep up this streak of finishes and these guys keep earning points for their teams. All right, and the third fight of the night will be at 132. 3 rounds, 2 minutes. Here we go.
So I know Kita has about 3 other teammates on the card tonight, so he definitely had a bunch of training partners in preparation for this fight of various different sizes. Let's see how that plays into the fight, because he definitely had people to prepare with.
That's another advantage of the team event, right? You have a bunch of your same teammates on the card. You guys prepare together. You guys go through camp together. Very unique preparation.
Absolutely. Kita comes out in the straight right. They're exchanging in the pocket and early.
Oh, yeah, they're standing in the middle. Doesn't look like these guys want to back down.
Pumping jabs, trying to set the range. Nice check.
Good check. It looks like Kita's starting to establish the middle of the ring. Good check there. Very nice. Good straight right from Kita.
This is a nice, almost technical, old school Muay Thai style where both guys are standing in front of each other, having a high guard and just banging on each other and checking kicks.
Oh yeah, a little different than the first 2 fights we had, but also just as entertaining. Oh, nice spinning backhand.
Nice spinning back fist.
Kita checked with the ref there for an elbow. I think he got hit with an elbow.
That's one of those things about the spinning attacks. You know, sometimes you're going to land a little bit more forearm or elbow. Without having pads, I can see how an amateur wouldn't be too happy about that.
Yeah, and it's also dangerous for the guy throwing it too. You've seen guys break their arms throwing that. I think Paige Van Zandt has broke her arm doing that same spinning attack.
Nice overhand there by Lopez. Lopez is doing a good job of closing combinations with kicks.
Specifically on the legs. He's attacking the legs of Kita here early.
Both guys seem to be throwing a good amount of naked kicks, so I'd like to see both of them set their kicks up a little bit better. They're still landing, but it's a little dangerous just to throw a straight naked kick because you're very vulnerable to your opponent if they throw something like a big overhand right while you're throwing a kick without a setup.
Yeah. You want to set that up with your hands, am I right, Bulletproof?
Exactly. So when I say set it up, I mean you want to put your hands in your opponent's face. So their hands have to be high, covering their guard so they're less able to see. And that's when we're going to blast our kick down low. So they're not able to see it, check it, catch it. And that's what I mean by setting up a kick. It's much easier to see coming if all you do is throw the kick by itself.
With 10 seconds left in this first round. Like you said, a more traditional fight here, Muay Thai fight here.
Very close round. Neither guy's standing down. I'd probably give the round to Lopez just slightly. But close round, neither guy really did a ton of damage on each other. It was a very strategic chess match. I'm interested to see, now that both guys have landed some shots and found some openings, what starts to open up for both guys.
Yeah, and
both
I'd have
guys
to
seem very fresh still as well.
I'd have to agree with you, Bulletproof. I'd give that round to Angel just solely on volume.
He seemed to have landed a few of the better shots and closed out a handful of his combinations with low kicks that landed pretty well. So I would give that round to Lopez. Not by a ton, but definitely to Lopez.
And looking at both of these fighters in their corner, both of them don't look tired at all. So hopefully the second round will be just as exciting as the first.
So I think Kita really has to start setting up his kicks more or firing off when Lopez throws his kicks. He needs to fire back immediately or check those kicks and then fire back. But he can't continue to let Lopez land these low kicks on him at the end of every combination because they're going to add up.
I think Angel's corner was asking for more of the same in this round. A lot of leg kicks, finishing off the combinations with the leg kicks. So I think that's part of their game plan, and he's executing it pretty well right now.
Absolutely. I would have told Mike, if I was in Angel's corner, I would have said, keep throwing those leg kicks. Bang, 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 leg kicks.
Let's see how well he can stick to the game plan here in a second. He's got Kita backpedaling here in a second.
So Lopez has got his attention down low, so he really seems to have stepped up using his hands. I would like to see him throw some more kicks to get his attention back on his legs and then start coming high again with his hands.
Good
but
check
he seems
hook
to be throwing much more power with his hands in this round.
And he's really bringing the pressure this round too. He's coming forward a lot. I don't think he's stepped back this round yet. There you go. That's the setup you're looking for there, Bulletproof.
Exactly.
Good left hook there by Kita.
So Lopez has been doing a good job of putting the pressure on Kita. And Kita's really been turned back to just throwing one attack at a time or eating a good amount of attacks from Lopez. I'd like to see Kita start really turning up and throwing more attacks and not just waiting to strike off of Lopez's strikes, but setting up his own by creating pressure of his own.
Yeah, and you're seeing what we talked about in the last fight. Kita's been having to fight this fight going backwards. It takes a toll on your cardio and that gas tank, and you can see it maybe start to pay some dividends here on Kita.
Absolutely, and it's very hard to win a fight moving backwards.
Yeah, I'd like to see...
His chin seems a little high, that overhand right or even a loop. Yeah, so Lopez is starting to throw him. I'd be looking for an overhand rights and right hooks.
Oh, good push kick there by Angel.
Nice push kick, just a slip, but that was very well timed by Lopez.
I think Kita had got his attention there with a right hand.
Kita's definitely got to start throwing back because the best defense is a strong offense. Nice spinning attack there by Lopez as well.
Second one of the night.
Lopez seems to have shifted into second gear, and Kita's still in first.
Yeah, Lopez really brought the pressure this round. Another spinning attack by Lopez. Oy, good head
Kita
kick.
has to turn the aggression up in this third round. So when Kita had his first fight, not the last fight, so he's 0-1-1, so he's had a loss and a draw. In the draw, he was losing the first 2 rounds, and then he dropped, almost knocked his opponent out in the third. That's why he has a draw, because the third round was a 10-8. I'm wondering if something similar could happen in this fight, because Kita does have the power. He's not an intimidating looking guy, but he can definitely knock a guy out in one strike, which we saw him almost do in the first FightersRep fight that he had. So, you know, you can't count Kita out, especially going into the third round, knowing that he really has, you got to go balls to the wall because he's going to lose this fight if he continues to let it go this way that he's going.
Yeah, and you got to imagine his corner's telling him he's down 2 rounds here. So he's got to really bring the pressure here, throw more numbers. Like you said, get that knockdown with the power that everyone knows he has.
Absolutely. We're going to need to see a sense of urgency out of Kita in this round. And if Lopez just continues to do more of the same.
Yeah, for Angel Lopez, we'd like to see a lot of the same. Don't switch up too
there we
much.
go.
Here
Kita comes
Kita.
out with a multiple strike attack and pressing forward. This is the exact modifications he needs to make to start winning this fight.
Good check there by Kita.
Good, and
There's
3
the
strike
numbers.
return on that. That's what I'm talking about, where before he got reduced to 1 strike counters or 1 strike attacks, where he threw 3 on that one. It's going to take punches and bunches and combinations to set something up.
Just like that.
Much more forward advancement from Kita in this round than we saw in the second round.
Yeah, and I think Angel would like to go back to the second round where he's pressing the action. He's the one putting the pressure on Kita. We're going to see how he
it's
does.
no fun having a guy pressure in.
Oh, good right hand by Kita.
And a nice liver kick there, too. Kita's definitely come out and seen the sense of urgency that he needs to win this fight.
And he definitely has Angel's attention now after he landed that right hand.
Absolutely. Well, I could see Angel being very confident after that second round. He was really able, it wasn't a 10-8 round, but he was really able to land what he wanted on Kita.
Yeah,
and that's not going on in the third round.
Yeah, and Angel's really throwing the overhand right with some power, so I think that's the punch he's looking for here. There's a nice combination by Kita.
That was another 3 strike combination. And all 3 strikes landed. You know, that's what I'm talking about, setting it up.
It looks like Kita's really turning it on here in the third.
Angel does a good job of throwing that spinning attack after throwing a kick. Instead of trying to catch his hip, he just spins around and surprises his opponent with that spinning attack. Kita again coming forward.
Oh, good kick there by Angel. Really impressed here with Angel's composure, though. He's been caught with a couple shots this round. Doesn't seem to have phased him much.
Absolutely. I think something that's remarkable as well is whatever Miguel Jacob told Kita in the corner, he's come out and we see a completely brand new Kita in this third round.
Yeah,
I would have liked he had to make the adjustments to come out and be successful.
I would have liked to have seen it earlier. He might have won this fight. I got to give this one to Angel.
I do too. I got 2-1 Angel. I thought Kita did enough to win that third round. I thought Angel won the first 2. Had we seen Kita turn that up, going to shift up into higher gear in the second round, who knows how this fight would have turned out. But I agree with you that Angel won this by 2-1 unanimous decision.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there, Bulletproof. But Kita did demonstrate the ability to execute his corner's game plan. He made the adjustments that needed to be made. He just needs to get started a little bit earlier.
Absolutely, and that's a big thing in this sport, is being able to come out and talk to somebody who's not in the heat of the storm, get their opinion on what you need to do, and then go back into the heat of the storm, remembering that information and applying it to what you're doing. So great job by Miguel Jacob and Kita Omura on that.
Yep, and hats off to Angel Lopez for fighting a good fight. We think he got the win. We don't.
Yeah, we'll see. You never know with the judges, though. Nothing against the judges, but
exactly,
man, you never know. But in the judges' defense, things look different in different places. Whether you're watching on TV or ringside or different sides of the ring, things look different based upon where somebody's sitting. But from where I'm sitting, Angel Lopez won that fight.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Bulletproof. Both of these guys in great shape. None of them not too tired. Doesn't look like they're breathing too heavily. Now we're going to await the judges' decision as they tally up the points. our first fight goes to decision here in the third fight of the night.
Another exciting fight. Even though it went to decision, man, that was an action-packed fight from start to finish.
And here we go with the official decision.
Yeah, so that's 1 point added to Angel Naranjo Lopez's team for winning the fight. So again, you can win 3 points per fight. 1 for winning the fight, another point for finishing your opponent before the final bell, and a 3rd point if you finish your opponent within the first round. So that was a 1 point fight for Angel's team.
All right, an exciting fight. We've had a few fights that to start this card that are very exciting. Maybe glimpses of what's ahead. All right, moving on to the next fight. The 4th fight of the night, we have Irvin Nguyen and Mark Bautista. They're fighting at 130 pounds tonight. So Irvin Nguyen, coming out of Huntington Beach, California. He's 1-0 in kickboxing, 5-4. So this is his 2nd fight. I'd like to see out of Huntington Beach, it's King's MMA.
So King's MMA is a great gym to be fighting out of. There's a bunch of killers in the MMA world as well as the kickboxing world coming out of King's MMA, so we know he's gotten some great training. Rafael Cordero is the head coach over at King's, and man, they have got some killers. So I am always interested in watching a King's MMA guy coming through and compete in any combat sport.
Yeah, King's MMA, they always bring the fire. They always have exciting fights. Their fighters are always ready to go.
So King's MMA with Rafael Cordero, who's an old school shoot the box guy. And when I say old school shoot the box, I'm talking about a guy who coached Wanderlei Silva, Shogun, Ninja Hua, some of these killers in the old school Pride days. I mean, this is a straight fight gym where guys came up in the Valley Tudo days. So King's MMA is no joke. Against having a Sigo Dong guy, we got Johnny Ferris also in the corner of Batista.
Yep, looks like Batista will be making his debut tonight, who's 0-0 obviously, at 130 against Irvin Nguyen.
That's right. I remember talking to Batista in the back now that I see him. He looks very confident. He's ready to come out and have a good time out here tonight.
Yeah, and although it says he's fighting from Walnut, California, I believe he is from Hawaii. Born and raised in Hawaii, he actually moved out here. So, you know those Hawaii guys, they always like to bring the fight.
Hawaiians are tough, man. I lost my first fight ever in my life, but as well as a professional in Hawaii to a Hawaiian. And man, I will tell you, Hawaiians are tough people, and fighting is in their culture. So we know Batista's got it in his blood, man. And we got Irvin Nguyen, who's out of King's MMA. This should be another banger. Stay tuned, everybody.
This one should be fun. If I had to guess, Bulletproof, I don't think this one goes to decision. For our 4th fight, we'll have 3 rounds, 2 minutes, shin guards and headgear for both of these fighters. All right, here we go, fight number 4 of the night. This one looks to be a fun one.
Really impressed with the composure of all these guys that I've seen tonight. For amateurs with only a few fights, all these guys look very composed and ready to come out and scrap. I don't see a ton of nervousness in anybody that I've seen in the back talking to earlier tonight, or that's come out here to the ring, which is awesome to see. Because you want to see guys coming out, you're going to see the best version of them where they're calm and collect.
Yeah, and that goes to the preparation. Am I right, Bulletproof?
Absolutely. At least for myself, I always find that the better prepared I am, the luckier that I seem to get when I'm in situations. And so when you prepare, it's a lot easier to be comfortable because you know you've put in the work. And all these guys are very comfortable, so I'm assuming that it's probably because they put in the work, which should make for great fights.
Yeah, and that could go back to training with your teammates. Again, this is a team event almost, where you're coming into the fight after training with your team. Here we go.
So we got Bautista coming out in the southpaw stance and Win orthodox.
Whoa. And
Win
Win's throwing bombs.
power.
Bombs!
Man, this is a fist fight right here.
Yeah, they are.
It's not pretty, but it sure is fun to watch.
Oh, this is exciting. So because this is a kickboxing match, there'll be no clinch. Well, they are throwing bombs here.
This is an absolute fist fight.
Yeah.
These guys are throwing full force. Nice knee by Bautista. Both guys are throwing with such intensity that when they miss, they're off balance and almost fall over. Wow.
It's funny because we're just talking about composure and how calm they come out, and these guys are coming out throwing haymakers at each other.
Hey, everybody likes to watch a good old brawl fist fight.
They're definitely trying to get those points for their team here tonight in the first round.
Both guys are definitely looking for 3 points, that's for sure.
Bautista's chasing after Win here. Now, if I had to make an early prediction, Bulletproof, fight of the night here.
It's definitely making up for that so far. Let's see. Win seems to be slowing down a little. Bautista's continuing the pressure.
That was a big left hand there from Win. I'm really impressed by Bautista, though. He weathered the storm. He didn't panic too much. And now he's putting the pressure on Win.
Win seems a little bit concerned that he's thrown everything he could at Bautista, and it didn't stop Bautista.
Bautista's coming straight at him. He's...
It looked like he wobbled a little bit with that right hook.
I think he hurt him here.
Nice
Good uppercut.
He looks wobbly.
Oh, he's hurt. And I think Bautista senses it. His corner's asking him to go at him. 10 seconds here in the first. And
standing 8 count.
Standing 8 count at the end of the first here. What an exciting round.
Absolutely. That was an action-packed round.
Wow.
They came out slugging. It seemed like Bautista had a little more in the tank. And once Win started slowing down, Bautista landed a few shots and wobbled Win. I'm interested to see how much Win's able to recover during this minute rest.
And this goes to the gas tank again. We've been talking about the gas tank quite a bit tonight.
It's interesting. I don't if I can attribute it to the gas tank or some of the shots that Bautista landed on Win, because he landed some nice shots that looked like they wobbled him. But it's hard to tell because Win was throwing so hard that he'd be off balance sometimes. So it's really hard to tell if he was that wobbled or if he was that tired or what combination of the two it was.
But I'll tell you what, either way, the crowd loved it.
Absolutely. And if you like watching fights like this, click the link below and buy a FightersRep t-shirt. The majority of proceeds get directly reinvested back into the company so we can bring you more fights like this.
All right, here we go with the second round. Should be another exciting one. Let's see if Win was able to recover.
Win is still breathing deep.
And here we go.
Bautista immediately with the pressure.
I'm sure Bautista wants to bring the pressure.
Seeing Win a little bit more of a sideways karate stance this time, throwing spinning attacks and jumping side kicks. Looks like he's probably trying to keep Bautista away, but Bautista is pressuring him and staying in on him. Looked like a slip to me, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a slip. So here we go. Bautista straight back at it. His corner's asking him. His corner's asking him to bring the pressure, and Bautista's doing just that.
I'd like to see some knees thrown here.
Here we go. Good push kick. Win looks tired here. They might be stopping the fight. Here we go. Standing 8.
That's the second time in standing 8 count where he's caught Win in the corner. Win seems to get wobbled around and starts really retreating out. And when he gets stuck in the corner, that's when Bautista's been able to get both of these standing 8 counts.
And Bautista's answers. Here we go. And here we go. We have a ref calling time here. Let's see what this is for.
Is he getting a warning for something? Oh, equipment.
Oh, we're going to check the equipment. Yo.
That's one thing I never liked about headgear, especially headgear with a chin strap. Sometimes it pops up over your mouth, makes it hard to breathe. Yeah, not a huge fan of the headgear, but it's understandable why they have the amateurs wearing it.
And in this case, it played to a disadvantage for Bautista, but it doesn't seem to affect him much. And that's the fight.
Calls the fight. Bautista with his debut
What a show.
Putting Win away in the second round. Win just collapsed to his knees. Man, some of those body shots that Bautista landed there at the end of the fight seem to have really done some damage. Win's still down.
And very impressive by Bautista there. Like I said, weathered that storm, stayed calm and collected, and landing his own shots of his own.
Especially for a debut fight. But, you know, coming out of a great gym like Scintillating with guys like Johnny Ferris in his corner, I am not surprised that he came out and had such a great performance. And this fight was exactly what we had expected with a King's MMA guy coming out and throwing down with Scintillating guy. It was nothing but fireworks and excitement. 2 points for Scintillating.
Yep, and another finish on the night. What's shaping up to be, again, an exciting card, as it always is at Fighters Rep. So Win is still getting checked by the medical staff here. He collapsed at the end of the round. Looks to be okay. Looks like he's just exhausted, I mean, after throwing those heavy shots in the first round. But again, Bautista did a great job, weathered the storm, landed his own big shots, and was able to put the fighter away in the second. Get some big points at the second round finish. What a fight, though. So exciting. The crowd loved it.
So as we wait for the official decision, we would like to shout out one of our sponsors, Supremamix. If you haven't tried it, try them out. Some of the best micheladas.
And a great show of respect again here by the fighters. Mark Bautista going over to check on Irvin Wynn, who seems to be okay. Looks like he's just, again, tired, exhausted from those heavy shots.
Yeah, we still see Wynn down, you know, and he must have been exhausted. These two guys just came out and had a full-on fist fight. And it's always exciting when you watch two fighters coming out and fighting to try and win and put the other guy away. Both these guys were coming out and hunting for 3 points, and Mark Bautista was able to take home 2 for his team.
And with the official decision, we'll go back into the ring here. And what an exciting fight for our 4th fight of the night. A second round finish by Mark Bautista out of the blue corner.
Man, these first 4 fights have really set the tone for tonight. I hope that we continue to see amazing fights like this. But just so you guys know, this is Fighters Rep, and we always have fights like this. I'd like to shout out another one of our sponsors that makes all of this possible. All Optimal Wellness.
So after that second round finish by Mark Bautista, we're going to move into our 5th fight. We have Brandon Washington against Shawn Hurst. Another 3-round, 2-minute fight. Headgear and shin guards. This one looks like it'll be exciting as well. And in the red corner, we have Brandon Washington. Looks like he worked up a good sweat there in the back. He's coming out pretty sweaty.
So coming out right now, we have Brandon West. This is another Black House Redondo guy coming out, coached by Miguel Jacob. This is Brandon's first fight, and I've done a good amount of training with Brandon as well. And he's super excited to be making his debut tonight. He started training a little bit late in life, but he's stoked that he's able to put in the work and get in here and live out his dream, you know. I believe he's 39 years old, but it really is a testament that if you want to do something with your life and you create a plan, you put that plan in the action, you can do it. And here he is tonight making his debut at Fighters Rep.
Tell you what, he looks great for 39.
He's a beast, man. He's extremely athletic. I was surprised when I heard his age.
And he's going to be fighting Sean Bradley out of Los Angeles. This fight is going to be at 153 pounds. So Sean Bradley is going to be, he's 1-0 in kickboxing and 0-1 in MMA. He's fighting out of Los Angeles, so this looks like it'll be a good one as well.
So Sean Bradley's a Saeksan Muay Thai guy. training under Julio Trana, and he's coming out with Georgie Garcia. Georgie's another guy that I've done a lot of training with. The CNEXS is a very legitimate Muay Thai gym up in the valley. This should be a banger right here. I'm excited to watch this fight.
And based on the way the fights have been going tonight, Bulletproof, this one's going to be another exciting one. All right, and we'll go into the ring for the official introduction.
Wow, a lot of noise for both fighters. Both teams have a lot of guys in the house. And both these teams are fighting to get their first points on the board tonight. Let's see how this fight goes. Both guys look ready.
All right, fight number 5 is on the way. Here we go.
Immediately, Shawn comes out and starts getting into Brandon's face, and Brandon fires back with a good one, too.
Big body kick there, missed.
Absolutely, Brandon West is not playing around. Continuing the pressure, staying on.
Good body
Shawn.
shot there. Good body shot there. Looks like Brandon West.
Straight hand by Brandon West. I didn't see what it was, but Shawn threw something back, and it seemed to have landed as well.
Shawn's corner is asking him to be patient. He came out of the corner hot.
He did.
Good leg kick there.
I'd like to see West start using a little bit more straight attacks. He's got really long legs. They look like they're about the same height. West's legs look several inches longer. I'd like to see him try and use some of that length in his straight kicks.
Yeah, West does a great job of going to the body, which you don't see a lot in amateur fights.
Right.
Good leg kick by West.
Nice leg kick there by West. I'd like to see both these guys start setting these kicks up a little bit better. They're both throwing a lot of kicks without throwing any hands ahead of them.
Brandon landed a head kick there. Both guys very calm here in the first, doing a great job.
So the guys came out and really banged that first minute. Now they're starting to play the game a little bit more. Let's see who starts setting up their stuff a little bit better. These naked kicks, they might land now, but they're a very dangerous investment for later on, because that's what Brandon can start to use to set up some of his counterattacks.
Another great leg kick by West. Good straight attack there.
Good blitz in by West and good counter punch by Shawn.
Looks like Shawn's
starting to put some pressure on West now. And the crowd is absolutely loving it.
West firing his own combination back.
West comes back.
Looks like he landed a big left hand.
This is going to be a tough round to judge.
West just called him in. Good push.
These boys are banging. This is what FightersRep is all about. Great first round. I'm glad that I'm commentating and I'm not judging, because I don't know who I'd give that to.
That was definitely the toughest one of the night. That was a fun round.
Between rounds, we'd like to shout out another one of our sponsors, FreightMasters. Thank you.
So I'm
interested to see what kind of adjustments we see coming out of both corners. We saw Miguel Jacob make some amazing adjustments between Quito Murrow between second and third round. And I know Julio's a great coach as well. So I'm interested to see what game these guys are able to sprinkle in their fighters' ears between rounds to start taking this fight over. Because right now, it's anybody's fight.
Yeah, and in Bradley's corner, they're asking him to be more patient. They're asking him to see what he's doing, set up his kicks like you were saying earlier, Bulletproof.
See, I'm not a huge fan of necessarily some of the patience. I think putting the pressure on, as we saw a lot in the earlier fights, the guy who's moving backwards is typically not winning the fight. So when I hear patience sometimes, I don't know what they mean by that. But I like pressure. I prefer pressure over patience. Nice counter straight hand.
Oh, good head kick too. Brandon might be hurt here. He's retreating.
He's definitely landed some good shots on West. West did not want to stand there and eat any more of those strikes. West is not running away, not getting gunshot. He's still in the fight.
Good leg kick there by Bradley. Oh, nice.
West can't start shut up. He's got to start throwing, continue to throw in combinations. One strike at a time is not gonna win this fight.
I'd like to see him go
start
back
countering off those naked kicks.
I'd like to see him go back to the leg kick though. It did good for him in the first. A good leg kick from Bradley there.
Bradley's still throwing with bad intentions. West seems to have taken some of the power out of his strikes. I'm not sure if that has to do with him being a little tired or if he is getting a little bit gun shy.
Yeah, and
Shawn
Bradley
is definitely continuing to keep a high pace on West.
I think he's got West hurt here. He's coming after him. He might sense something.
Overwhelming West right now. He might get a standing 8 count in the corner.
We're gonna get a standing 8 count here. Bradley's corner is asking for a knee when West clinches up like that and covers up.
And back in it.
Here we go. Let's see if Bradley comes after.
That was a good call for that standing 8 count. West was definitely in a bad position. I'd like to see him turn it back up. There we go. Where he's throwing attacks again. Good.
Oh, that's good body kick.
Shawn does not want to play that. He might get another standing 8 count here.
Big head kick by Bradley. West is, and that's the fight. There's another finish. Another finish here at FightersRep. Shawn
Bradley. 2
Bradley.
points for Sexton Muay Thai.
Shawn
great
Bradley.
finish, and he really stayed on Bradley or West to finish that fight. Tough debut for Brandon West, but he came out and there's nothing to be ashamed of with that fight. That was an absolute fist fight. Very entertaining to watch. Great performance by both guys. And Shawn coming away with the win. Plus 2 points for Sexton Muay Thai.
With a second round finish, that's Shawn Bradley. Very impressive, to be honest. He did a great job coming forward, kept the pressure, realized when he was hurt, and like you said, didn't really go for the patience. He attacked him and brought the pressure. And
that's an exact reason why I'm a fan of the pressure over the patience. Especially when he started to see a little bit of, that he started landing and getting a little bit of backwards momentum out of West. He continued to stay on him until he was able to put him away. Great stoppage and fantastic fight. Another entertaining fight here at FightersRep.
And hats off to West, Brandon West. He did a great job. Didn't go down. He took the ref to stop the fight.
Well, while we wait for the official decision, we'd like to shout out F&M Logistics Corporation, one of our sponsors.
All right, while we wait, Brandon West is getting checked out by the medical staff. He looks to be okay. Looks to be fine. Disappointed, if anything.
Wow, out of 5 fights so far, 4 fights have had finishes, and even the one that went to decision was a banger. That's what we do here at FightersRep. We fist fight.
It's always exciting here at FightersRep. And you know what? Some of it might be attributed to the team event because they don't want to let their team down. They're looking for the finish. They want to get as much points as they can for their team.
Absolutely. This team dynamic is a really exciting way to, it's an exciting twist that puts a little bit more emphasis on your performance because now there's a team aspect involved in it, a team dynamic.
And with the official decision, we're going to go into the ring. And even with all the finishes here tonight, Bulletproof, it's great to see all the fighters show the respect after the fights, congratulate the other corner and the cornermen.
Absolutely. Well, as somebody who's had a lot of fights, I found that after you get in a fight with somebody, you know exactly what they're made of. So almost always you have a lot of respect for a person after you fight them. Or you have zero respect for them. There's no in between. It's either a lot or none. And tonight it's just been nothing but respect between the fighters, which is always great to see.
Which is, yeah, what we like to see here at FightersRep as well. Right. Going into the 6th fight of the night. The 6th fight of the night will be at 180 pounds. And we have Armen versus Bianca Williams.
So here we have Armen Montusian coming out. Another one of Karan Darbedian's guys. And after Karan's first guy that came in and threw down, I'm really interested in what Armen can do. I believe this is his debut. Yeah, it is. So 180-pound catch weight. Let's see what happens. He's fighting off against Bianca Williams.
And a little bigger guys here, a little thicker guys in this fight. So these big bombs that these guys have been throwing are really going to show a lot more damage here if they land.
Absolutely. As we start going up in weight, it's definitely going to see a rise in power. And the guy that Armen is fighting is Bianca Williams. He's also a Marine, fighting out of 29 Palms, so you know he's coming in shape, and he's a big, tough guy. Should make for another fantastic fight.
And Bianca Williams is currently 2-0 with kickboxing, so this will be his 3rd fight.
Bianca Williams also sporting a 2-0 record, 6'3" at 180 pounds. So he's definitely seems like the bigger guy with more experience coming in against Armen. I'm interested to see what Armen's corner is going to do and how they plan on going about beating the bigger, stronger, more athletic-looking opponent. His technique is definitely going to trump athleticism, but you have to have a strategic plan in place in order to achieve that.
Yeah, and Bianca fought on the last Fighters Rep card, and he does a great job using his length, specifically his push kick and his teeps. Stays at his
He's got
range.
giant legs. He looks like a daddy long legs fighter. That is a big boy at 180 pounds. Wow.
Yeah, and he uses all of it. He uses his legs great. All right. So here we go with the 6th fight of the night. 3 rounds, 2 minutes. This should be another exciting one.
Introducing first, fighter out of the red corner, fighter
So again, Armen is making his debut against a very good fighter. So like you said, Bulletproof, I want to see what the strategy is here to start for Armen. How they're gonna deal with the legs and the length of Bianca Williams.
Well, the 4-inch reach difference. With a 4-inch reach difference, or a height difference, I would obviously assume that Armen's goal is to get inside of the long, straight attacks of Bianca Williams and try and start getting inside and playing the inside fighting game. But we'll see how that works. But the size of those legs on Bianca Williams, I would absolutely be using those straight leg kicks.
Yeah, there
and
it
immediately
is.
comes out using straight leg kicks.
Starts with a good teep.
So I think something else that's notable about this fight is Colin Betting's team also has 2 points on the board. So a win here could definitely really put their team ahead of the rest of the card.
Bianca Williams doing a great job of setting up his kicks like you were saying in earlier fights. Throwing the hands first, following by the body kick.
Absolutely, Bianca's doing a great job of keeping his guard nice and high, so his hands are always a threat. Even if you're not throwing your hands out, if your hands are a threat, you're still able to kind of throw the kick and it's not as naked if your hands are still in a threatening position.
And Bianca's corner is asking him to be first, and they're saying he's waiting too long. So he's waiting for Armen to throw, and he's trying to answer. They want him to throw first. Good check. Good right hand by Bianca.
Right. That's straight rear hand by Bianca Williams.
Oh, I think it hurt him. Here we go. We're gonna have knockdown by Bianca Williams. I think it was that right hand that you saw that hurt him.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how much, if we see a gunshot Matusian coming out after that.
Yeah, I think he's dizzy. Armen might still be hurt here.
Matusian with the spinning back kick.
Good right hand again.
Bianca Williams is coming out almost Deontay Wilder-esque.
That's the
throwing
fight.
Bombs and finishing the fight in the corner. The referee steps in. Plus 3 points for Bianca Williams.
And he moves to 3-0 in his career and gets a big 3 points for his team.
Bianca Williams is going to be a threat at 180 pounds. I'll tell you right now, that is a big boy throwing bombs, staying very well composed. Doesn't even look out of breath now. That guy's going to be a threat right there.
Absolutely, and he did a great job of hearing his corner during the fight and then being first, just like how they were asking him.
Absolutely. That was a very tough matchup debut for Matusian. He came out, he fought as best he could, but after eating some of those bombs by Bianca Williams, the referee stepped in.
And it was the right hand that you had mentioned and that you saw that hurt him, and I think inevitably finished the fight.
That's what it looked like he had dropped Matusian with when he got that, when he dropped him earlier in the round. Looked like a right hand. He even has a Deontay Wilder body type.
Yeah, very impressive.
Thin guy, like, man.
And once he got him hurt, he was throwing those bombs like Wilder too.
Absolutely. That overwhelming pressure, man, it's extremely hard to deal with. Especially at the amateur level, these guys aren't used to it. And when they want to start kind of being like, uh-oh, and the guy just continues to pour it on him, you see the referee, because how many standing 8 counts have we seen tonight? A significant amount from pressure fighting.
Absolutely.
Bianca Williams bringing out the Marines flag. Shout out to all of our armed forces around the world, past and present. Your service is both appreciated and respected by us here at FightersRep.
100%. Very impressive performance.
Absolutely. And being a Marine, I'm not surprised that this guy's a killer in the ring. I used to live down in Oceanside, and I trained with a bunch of Marines, and man, they are tough guys. They call them devil dogs for a reason.
And with the official decision, we're going to go into the ring.
Future is very bright for Bianca Williams. I wonder what the next step is for him. You know, being 3-0, if he's going to go pro or continue to fight. I don't even know what his training experience is, but man, that kid has a ton of potential.
Yeah, he moves to 3-0 in his career. Very bright future for Bianca. Right, moving into bout number 7. Another 3-round, 2-minute. All right, we got Junior Herrera fighting out of the red corner.
Yeah, Junior Herrera coming out with Dimitri Gerasimov in his corner. So he's a Systems training center guy. Systems has a ton of killers. So this kid's 1-0 also, coming in sporting an undefeated record. So by finding out of Systems, I've got a lot of faith in this kid right now. I'm interested to see how this fight goes.
And this fight will be taking place at 127.
Hey, brother. Great fight, man. Thank you, owner.
All right, and Junior Herrera will be taking on Philip Wong in the blue corner.
So Philip Wong's coming out with a 2-1 record, standing at 5'4". So both these guys at 127 pounds are on the smaller side. I'm really interested to see these guys fight. I love watching little guys fight because little guys don't get tired and they throw bombs. It's like earlier when we watched Batista and Win fight. Those two guys were pretty small, but man, did they come out and bang.
Yeah, and like you said, they don't get tired. Their gas tanks are deep.
Well, when big guys like Bianca hit you, people go down. At 127 pounds, you can take some shots and not necessarily get knocked out as quickly. You know, so 127 pounds, you can get hit with everything you got, and the guy could still potentially be on his feet. But if Bianca Williams hits you as hard as he can, chances are you're going down.
Yep.
So that's one of the things I love watching about these littler guys fight, is you can really see a drawn-out fist fight where guys are throwing hard and really going at it for extended periods of time.
Yeah, and Philip Wong is fighting out of the Yard Muay Thai out there in Boston.
Big applause for both fighters. Big applause for both fighters. So Julie Wong, I didn't realize was out of the Yard. The Yard is another one of LA's top Muay Thai gyms, where you see
Joe Schilling.
Joe Schilling, that's who it was.
Yes, sir.
Training a lot out of there. And a bunch of tough guys that come out of there. Edgar Barbieri is another guy that I've watched fight several times out of the Yard. And really fun, scrappy guys coming out of the Yards. This should make for another fantastic fight here at FightersRep.
Both guys look ready. They haven't broken eye contact yet, so we're going to get this one started.
You can always tell a lot about guys, their eyes, and how they're looking at each other. I think the eyes are the gateway to the soul, and if there's fear in someone's heart, I think you can see it in the guy's eyes. Both these guys were looking deep in their eyes and seeing what each other were made of. Both these guys are here to fight. And as you can tell this first 30 seconds, that's what they're going to do.
Wong's doing a good job of throwing those shots right down the pipe.
Nice lead high kick.
Here we go.
Wong comes immediately back.
Yep, and here we go.
To just accept the strikes.
And like you said, these guys are eating some shots. Yeah.
I'd like to see a little bit better head movement from Wong. He's keeping his head right on the middle line, which is allowing Herrera to counter him, land some significant shots, because he knows right where his head's going to be if Wong doesn't get it off that middle line.
Yeah. Herrera's doing a good job of throwing those counters back. Like you said, Wong's got to get his head off that center line to avoid being hit while he's throwing.
Absolutely. Wong continues to press forward, however.
Wong's been coming forward, but Herrera's doing a good job fighting, going backwards, landing those counter shots. Good leg kick, good straight by Wong there.
If I was Herrera, I would continue to step back, land, and then fire, because I know exactly where Wong's head's going to be. He just continues to walk straight in. Herrera can step back as he's doing, land, throw some strikes, step back again.
And Wong's doing a good job of landing those shots right down the pipe as Herrera's throwing those wild.
Wong's got to do a little bit better head movement as he comes in to stay off that center line, to get out of the way of these jabs and rear hands by Herrera as he presses forward. If he doesn't, he's going to continue to eat shots as he moves in.
Wong with a little warning there and then breaking the action. Herrera does a great job of mixing it up to the body. Good leg kick by Herrera.
That's a fantastic job closing both those combinations by both guys with kicks. I think it's one of the things that really needs to happen in kickboxing. As the range changes and fighters back out, is finishing the combination with a kick, closing it out.
And that's another tough round to judge there. I would give the slight advantage to Herrera just based on the shots that he's landed.
I agree. I thought he landed a little bit better of the shots. The pressure was definitely on for Wong, but Herrera, I thought, landed the better of the shots and looked a little bit more composed and technical, despite moving backwards. You don't have to be moving forward to win, but chances are, more often than not, the guy moving forward is winning.
Especially if it goes to a decision.
Absolutely. Aggression is a big thing you see when you're talking about judging criteria. If striking's about equal, aggression and ring control, they call ring generalship, are two of the things judges look at. Who's in the middle of the ring pressing the action? This should be another fantastic match. I'm interested to see what adjustments both fighters make coming out into the second round, because both fighters are game to fight.
Let's see if Wong comes out and starts moving his head like you were saying in the first, because he was getting cracked in the first while he was throwing.
That could be a game changer for this second round for Wong coming in. If he's able to keep his head off that center line and wade sideways as he comes in and out, he might be able to avoid some damage as he presses forward.
Yeah. Well, good straight right there from Wong. Good leg kick by Herrera to answer.
Yeah, that good straight right landed by Wong was off of a naked leg kick thrown by Herrera. That's the risk of throwing a naked kick, is your opponent is very likely to counter back, especially towards the later rounds where they've gotten used to what your naked kick looks like. Well, nice three-punch combination for Herrera.
Herrera seems to be landing the shots again as he's going backwards this round.
So Herrera's punches seem to be doing more damage because you can see him set himself and then throw.
The big shot landed by Herrera, followed by a good leg kick.
These punches don't seem crazy hard, but they're definitely rattling the head of Wong. He cannot continue to take a damage like this. He's not taking crazy damage, but he's definitely taking unanswered strikes.
Herrera doing a good job going to the legs here, chopping the legs. Wong starting to pour it on.
Wong's pressure's working. Now that he has Herrera on the ropes and in the corner, this pressure's working much better for him than it was in the middle of the ring, where Herrera was able to back up and throw strikes. Where here, when he's stuck in the corner, he's not landing the counter damage that he was in the middle of the ring. If Wong can keep him here in the corner throwing strikes like this, Wong's definitely winning this fight in the corner.
Tell you what, Wong's got a chin on him. We got an official's timeout. I think he's getting warned for a low blow.
If I were Wong, I'd be getting back. I would not let him back into the middle. That would pressure him into the corner, pressure him into the corner. Don't let him out. You see Wong's doing, that's exactly what he should be doing. Keeping him on the ropes and in the corner. Because if he allows Herrera in a position where he can back out and throw strikes, Wong's head's going to continue to get rattled around. But since Wong's got him in the corner, he's been unloading on Herrera here.
Those body kicks are landing. Wong just walks forward, eats those shots, and lands his own shots. For that knee on the inside there.
I think I have that second round for Wong. Wong made the adjustments. Instead of moving his head to avoid those counter strikes as Herrera moved back, he just made it so Herrera couldn't move back and throw counter strikes by putting him in the corner. and it paid off. He definitely won that round and landed a significant amount more damage in the corner.
Yeah.
I'd probably give that round to Wong, but the beginning of the round was definitely going towards Herrera. Again, I'm glad that we're over here commentating and not over there judging this fight.
From our perspective, I definitely give that one to Wong. So going into the third round, it's 1-1.
This has been a fantastic fight so far. I love it to see a back and forth fight where one guy doesn't necessarily start running away with the fight. Looked like Herrera was, at the end of the first round, was definitely taking it. At the end of the second round, looks like Juan's taking it. So it's definitely been a very back and forth fight. I'm really interested to see how this third round comes out. Both teams are looking to get their first points of the night. Let's see what they're able to walk away with.
Let's see if Wong continues with that straightforward pressure.
The winner of this will get 1 point, but if someone's able to put somebody away here in this third round, their team will get 2 points.
Here we go with the third and final round.
Herrera comes out with a 3-strike combination.
Herrera does a good job of throwing combinations, something that we haven't seen a lot during tonight.
I agree. He stepped himself back in the corner there. He was smart enough to clinch up and pull himself out of the corner, but he just backed up into it again. Let's see if Wong is able to capitalize on this ring position and back him into a corner again and start landing strikes. You can see he's got him on the ropes, and he's trying to work him towards the corner. Herrera's doing a better job of footwork now and being able to retain himself in the middle of the ring. If he spends the time on the ropes or in the corner, Wong will probably win this round.
I think Wong might have rocked him there with a shot. Now he's going to walk forward.
When Wong gets him back here in the corner, he's got to capitalize on this ring position. He put in so much work to get him here. He's got to start throwing and landing here.
Wong's corner is screaming and asking him for kicks. And there it is.
Nice Superman punch by Herrera.
But Wong continues to walk forward through it all. He eats the shots and keeps coming, puts them back in the corner, and unloads his own combinations. Oh, big shots there.
So a little bit of head movement will go a long way for Wong here.
Oh, yeah.
He's throwing good strikes, but he was able to avoid the counter strike as opposed to just exchanging strikes. This is still anybody's round, in my opinion. I got it 1-1. They both guys just exchanged straight rights. This has been a great back and forth fight. We're gonna see who wants it more in these next 45 seconds to a minute, whatever's left in this third round.
This is an extremely close round.
Absolutely. I mean, I would say Herrera's just edging it out, but it could be anybody's fight depending on how somebody wants to close this round out.
And here we go with the 10 seconds. Let's see what they do here. Wong coming forward. Herrera with a big right hand. Big head kick. Wow, what a fight. What
Absolutely.
a back and forth fight.
Absolutely. This is going to be a very tough fight to judge. This third round was extremely close. I got it. I would probably say Herrera by slightly in the third round, but not by much. I could really see this going either way.
Yeah,
Great fight by both guys. Both guys came to fight, and that's exactly what we had.
Both guys landed a fair share of their own shots, but I would have to agree with you again. Bulletproof, I'd give it to the red corner, Junior Herrera.
While we wait for the official decision, we'd like to shout out to another one of our sponsors, Beast Coast Unlimited. If you're a fan of these fights, click the link below. Go buy a FightersRep t-shirt. All proceeds get reinvested back into the company so you can help us put on more fights like these. The best fights in Southern California. Glory Kickboxing Rules makes for an exciting fights, and that's all we have here at FightersRep. Let's see who's walking away with the point tonight. Systems Training Center or the Yard?
What an exciting night of fights here. Even the ones that go to decision, they're exciting.
That's what the greatness of having such great matchmakers and promotional events is, that you can have great fights even when they go to decision. You know, as these guys have shown, as we've seen several times tonight, even these fights that go to decision have been exciting and enjoyable to watch.
All right, as the fighters pose for some post-fight pictures here, the judges are going to tally up the scores, and we're going to see who edges out this win. All right, and with the official decision, we're going to go into the ring here.
Plus 1 point for Systems Training Center with a decision win by Herrera.
Yeah, well deserved. Like we said, I think he did more damage, landed more of the shots moving backwards, but a great fight by both fighters, Philip Wong and Junior Herrera.
Absolutely. When I heard 30-0, I knew Herrera had won the first round, so I knew that it had to be Herrera winning that fight. I had it 2-1 Herrera, but not by much. Like I said, that third round was definitely very close. Fantastic fights. That's what I like about watching some of these little guys fight, because, man, they were swinging and landing.
Yep. Like you said, when they're a little bit smaller, they can land a little bit more shots and be able to walk through. All right, moving on to the bout number 8 of the night. We are flying through here, Blake. There's a lot of finishes tonight. Eric Sandoval fighting in the red corner tonight. Fighting out of Ontario, California. This fight is at 150 pounds. Eric is currently 1-0 in kickboxing, so second fight here at FightersRep.
So we have 2 undefeated fighters stepping in. Someone's O has got to go.
Yep, and I think Eric Sandoval fighting out of King's MMA. You saw a King's fighter earlier. You can see the pressure and the heat that they bring. So shaping up to be another fun fight.
Absolutely. He's got Dario Baranouche in his corner too, who's a legit top name fighter.
And Josh Jenkins fighting out of Upland, California.
Sporting a 2-0 record. Both fighters are 5'10" and fighting at 150 pounds.
Joshua Jenkins fighting out of Blitz Muay Thai.
Man, I gotta say, Thor Skanky is looking sharp in his suit tonight.
Absolutely.
I brought a suit thinking I was gonna be the sharp one, but he is looking like a stud in there.
Oh yeah, that pink handkerchief out of the pocket.
That pink handkerchief, they say pink is punk. That's the man right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh yeah. Doing a great job being the ring announcer tonight.
Absolutely. Thor's a great guy, inside the ring and outside the ring. Thor's a great friend of mine. I've watched him fight a lot of times, and I'm good friends with him as well. He's a fantastic guy. I can't wait to see him get inside of the squared circle again soon.
All right, so our bout number 8, Eric Sandoval out of King's Muay Thai and Joshua Jenkins out of Blitz Muay Thai. Another 3-round, 2-minute fight at 150 pounds.
Ladies and gentlemen.
And with the fighter introductions, we're going to go into the ring with Thor.
A lot of noise for Eric Sandoval. King's MMA has a ton of people in the house tonight. That's what I love about this team dynamic. It brings all the people in, you know, because now it's a team thing. It's not an individual sport. We're coming together and turning this individual sport into a team event.
As you say that, we got a lot of noise for Josh Jacobs as well out of Blitz Muay Thai. Look to get this ace
see how
fight.
this goes. I'm always interested when I see pure Muay Thai gym fighters go against MMA gym fighters, because it's a little bit different when you're dealing with guys that are used to having takedowns and all kinds of things of that nature. So it's always interesting to see when these guys come together and fight under different rules.
Both of these guys, similar body types. Both of them 5'10", like you had mentioned. So this will be an interesting one. Got Joshua Jenkins getting his headgear on, and we'll get this one going for you guys.
Again, both fighters looking very calm and collect tonight. Eric Sandoval looks like he's just chilling, waiting for his workout to start.
And what a night of fights, huh, Blake? It's been fun.
Absolutely. FightersRep always puts on fights that are exciting. So if you want to support us, click the link below and buy a t-shirt. All proceeds get reinvested back into the company so we can continue to bring you the best fights in Southern California.
All right, looks like Joshua Jenkins is ready now. Fighters
Here we
are gonna
go,
meet in the
baby.
middle.
Time to bang.
There you go. Looking right into each other's eyes. Look at
Nope,
the
neither
intensity.
guy's afraid of the other. They're both ready to fight.
Sandoval stared right into his eyes. And here we go. Touch of the gloves and we're off. Teep out there from Jenkins. Answered by Sandoval. Good check.
Couple naked kicks by Sandoval. I'd like to see him set those kicks up a little bit better. A little more clinching than is allowed here. These are glory kickboxing rules, so you're not allowed to continue to hold a clinch like in Muay Thai. You can clinch with one hand while you're throwing.
You're going to see him get broken again for the second time. A good step back there by Sandoval. Both of these guys look really calm. Feeling each other out. Haven't really seen a lot of that in these fights tonight.
Absolutely. Sandoval's using a lot of body motion, moving around, throwing his shoulders and his head. While Josh Jenkins is staying a lot more, conserving his energy with the motions.
Good knee there by
efficient
Sandoval.
movement in Jenkins. Jenkins has Sandoval in the corner. Let's see if he's able to capitalize.
Oh, big shot just missed by Jenkins there.
Yeah, Sandoval slipped that and switched sides, then put Jenkins on the ropes. Both guys dancing in the middle now.
Good body shot by Sandoval, good head movement.
Jenkins has a nice right hand. He threw it there and it missed, but definitely had some good power on it. Good balance and dexterity from Jenkins on that. Missed the kick and came back with a side kick.
A lot of naked kicks here, like you're saying earlier. You want to see him set it up with the hands.
Or at least close out the hand combinations with a kick, whether it's a low kick or a high kick. Ideally starting low and then eventually working high.
Especially for a guy like Sandoval who uses so much movement, those leg kicks will pay dividends in the later rounds. He won't be able to move as efficiently.
Absolutely, you're 100% right about that.
Sandoval starting to unload here. At the end of the first, Sandoval putting a mark on it. That was a fun ending to the first there.
Yeah, way to finish the first, little slugfest. I had that slightly by Jenkins, just by a little bit more composed, but man, that was a close round.
Yeah, all these rounds tonight have been extremely close, but I'd agree with you there. Bulletproof, I'd give that one to Jenkins.
So between rounds, we'd like to shout out another one of our sponsors, CNEXS Wear. Here we go, round two.
Yeah, and listening into Joshua Jenkins' corner there, they want him to be a little bit more relaxed and bring more pressure. All right, here we go. We're going to start round two here with an official's timeout. And here we go. Good teep by Jenkins.
Jenkins coming out trying to use his range, these long straight kicks.
Jenkins corner asking him to be first.
Jenkins is coming out looking for the finish early. He's throwing some power. I like the head movement now by Jenkins too. Definitely looks a lot more relaxed.
A lot of naked kicks, so I'd like to see him set it up like you said. Really making an emphasis on going to the legs this round. Jenkins' corner asking him for more leg kicks.
I agree 100%. If they're able to slow down Sandoval's motion, he's definitely going to start being able to land better shots besides just leg kicks. Once he's able to slow him down, utilizing those leg kicks.
Jenkins is throwing heavy shots, so when he gets...
You can hear him with each throw. Yeah, he's definitely throwing some power at Sandoval.
Sandoval answering with his own combination.
Definitely looks like Jenkins has caught his stride. He's really getting into his groove now. He might not necessarily be landing, but he's definitely looking for shots, and he's the major aggressor here in the second round.
Yeah, he's throwing a lot more volume than Sandoval is.
Absolutely, Sandoval looks like he's slowing down.
Right
nice
hand.
overhand right.
Doesn't seem to phase Sandoval too much, but it landed. That definitely landed. Let's see if he looks for it again. Yep. Answered by Sandoval's
Some leg kicks
combination.
to slow him down, and that overhand right will get the knockout for him. Ooh. I would like to see him.
Oh, big right hand.
See him fake an overhand right and just throw a straight right to Sandoval's body. Sandoval is definitely worried about that overhand right now.
That landed
his
once
hands
more.
And guard really high every time that Jenkins steps in.
Jenkins
that body
is
shot's wide open.
Throwing some heavy heat on that right hand.
Count maybe? No.
Nope. End of the round. What an exciting end again to the second round, just like the first.
Absolutely. Jenkins really seems to be getting in his groove, though. Sandoval seems to be slowing down. Jenkins is running away with this fight. Sandoval has to do something different in this third round if he does not want to lose this fight.
Yeah, like you said, Jenkins started to find his range there. He was able to land that big right hand, and he kept going back to it.
Absolutely, and even beyond the offense, his head movement and stuff is making it hard for Sandoval to land anything. And when you're throwing punches at a guy and absolutely missing, it's very demoralizing. It makes you not want to throw as much. You know, and by getting shots landed on you and then not landing your counter shots, it's very demoralizing. So I'm interested to see what the Kings guys are able to tell Sandoval right now to get him to adjust so that does not happen in the third round.
Be interesting to see what Jenkins' game plan is since that right hand was so successful. If the corner wants him to go to the leg kick or keep throwing that right hand.
I would have liked to have seen him throw a lot more leg kicks in the second and then look for that overhand right finish in the third. If I was his corner, I would tell him to come out throwing a handful of leg kicks early on and then be looking for the finish. Looks like his corner told him to just bring that right hand though and drop the thunder.
Yeah. There we go. The corner asking for more leg kicks though, so let's see. Right back to the right hand.
Definitely throwing some kicks to slow down Sandoval. If he's able to use some of the footwork so that he's able to trap Sandoval in the corner, I think he'll be able to get that right hand. If Sandoval is able to continue to back out, it's going to be hard for him to land that overhand right.
I'll tell you what,
he's able to put Sandoval in the corner, he can get that knockout in the corner.
Sandoval's
Jenkins is asking, he's saying, let's bang right here. Boom, that overhand right's coming.
Oh, he's firing those right hands.
Oh,
he's
finally going to get a
standing 8 count. One more, I think if he lands one more. Good job by Sandoval there to clinch him up.
Absolutely, breaking the action up with that clinch. Smart, getting himself out of the corner. That was very wise of Sandoval. That was a dangerous place to be, and he was close to getting a standing 8 count when he was in the corner just now. I would like to see Jenkins continue to turn the pressure up.
He's looking for that right hand, though.
He is. It looks... He can smell the blood.
Oh, yeah.
Sandoval's getting even wobbled by some of these jabs. You know he's tired, and you know he's eating some damage.
You're not seeing a lot more
Jenkins has to turn it up here to put him away.
You're not seeing a lot of that movement by Sandoval anymore after eating some of those shots, but I gotta say, Sandoval's gotta get a finish here if he wants to win this fight.
Yeah. See, those leg kicks and stuff's added up now. All that inefficient movement by Sandoval early on has gassed him, and now he's a sitting duck for some of these attacks, especially when he gets stuck on the ropes or in the corner.
These huge right hands from Jenkins.
But Sandoval's not scared.
There it is
He's
again.
still fist fighting.
Oh, there's a standing 8 count after that right hand.
That straight right snapped his head back. Sandoval's tough though. He's continuing to push forward despite everything Jenkins is throwing at him.
10 seconds left. Here we go.
Woo! There we go.
Jenkins sprinted
Jenkins comes
at
out.
him.
He wants the finish. He wants 2 points tonight.
He sprinted at him from the corner.
Sandoval survives the third round. What an exciting fight.
Yeah, Jenkins was able to land that right hand all night long. As soon as he landed it, he kept going back to it. Great show.
It's really interesting with this point dynamic. Whether now there's more at stake about finishing your opponent. And Jenkins wanted those points for his team. Wasn't able to put him away, but he was sure trying.
And as always, great show of respect by both fighters here. Looks like the judges have a decision pretty quickly. They're holding it out here for the ref.
So during this break, we'd like to shout out another one of our sponsors, Beast Coast Unlimited Gloves. Shout out to Beast Coast.
Another exciting fight here tonight, Bulletproof. But I think Jenkins ran away with that one.
Absolutely, round 1 was competitive. I gave round 1 to Jenkins. And Jenkins continued to shift gears and get better and better and pick it up as the fight continued on. Sandoval tried as well, but his gas tank didn't allow it for him, you know, and Jenkins just continued to turn it up. But all the credit to Sandoval, though. He's a tough kid who took some shots during that fight, and it didn't break his spirit. He continued to fight to the closing bell.
And Jenkins did a great job executing what his corner was asking of him to go to the leg kick, found that right hand, and that ended up being the difference maker for him tonight. But hats off to both fighters. Sandoval's a tough guy, didn't back down, put on a show for the crowd tonight.
And Thor Skanky enters the ring with the official decision.
Judge number 2 scores the bout
decision for Jenkins. It looks like they might have read one of the scores wrong and surprised everybody.
Yeah. Including Sandoval.
The right guy got the win, though. That was another exciting fight.
Yeah, great performance by Josh Jenkins and a real fighter's heart there out of Eric Sandoval.
Both guys, Eric Sandoval came to fight. He didn't walk away with the win tonight, but he definitely came and put on a great performance for his fans tonight.
Here we go, moving on to bout number 9 of the night.
So next we got Eric Toch coming out. It's another Black House Redondo guy that I've known for years. And I'm really excited to see what he brings. I believe this is his fourth fight, excuse me. He's 2-1. But man, he's getting better and better. I did a lot of sparring with him in preparation for this fight. And he's got some fantastic kicks, and he's gotten much more comfortable in the striking world. I'm looking forward to seeing how he does tonight. Miguel Jacob does a fantastic job of preparing his guys. So far, Black House has gone 0-2 tonight, but that doesn't attribute to the amount of skill that these guys have, because everybody here at FightersRep is a killer.
And Eric Toch will be fighting Santos Silas.
So Santos is another Systems Training Center guy. Systems Training Center got a win earlier with Junior Herrera. He got a decision win over Philip Wong already. So Systems Training Center already has 1 point on the board. Let's see if Black House is able to get some points right now and get on the board.
And this fight, it will be happening at 170 pounds. So again, these are a little heavier guys, so they won't be able to take the shots that we've seen the smaller guys land tonight.
Absolutely. And what's interesting, these are both big guys. Eric Toch stands at 6'2", and his opponent, Santos Silas, stands at 6'1". So both these guys are huge for their weight class.
Not a huge difference in height. It'll be an exciting fight, I'm sure, like the rest of the fights have been on this card tonight. And with the fighter introductions, we're going to go into the ring to Thor.
A lot of noise for Eric Toch. Black House is in the house. And here we go, baby.
All
it's time
right.
to bang.
Bout number 9, here we go.
So I was talking to Eric in the back, and he was laying down reading a book, and he said this is the most calm that he's ever been before a fight. And I think having a calm and composed person makes for a much better competitor, because you're going to be a lot more strategic about your advances and your attacks. As you can see, Eric is already coming out, testing the range and throwing straight attacks, as the longer fighters should.
Definitely does look calm in there, looks good. Finding his range, good feints.
And great head movement by Eric Toch.
Guys exchanging leg kicks there. Eric Toch going to that head kick.
Both guys have had a little bit of success landing kicks so far. I'd like to see a better setup. Sloss throwing naked kick. Eric's
good left
closing
hook
out
by
after his
Toch.
kick with some punches.
Great movement by Toch as well.
Absolutely. Stepped back and circled out and got the better angle on his opponent.
Oh, good push
Nice
kick.
straight teep.
Toch definitely does look calm, composed in there, executing his game plan.
Great movement, in and out, head movement. Hasn't really had a big shot land anywhere besides his legs so far. Let's see if he can continue that. Landed a nice head kick and got a little overzealous and jumped in. Didn't need any damage on it, but wasn't able to capitalize either.
Toch is doing a great job of extending his jab, finding his range here early, throwing feints.
He's a long fighter, so by using those straight attacks and the range attacks, it's very wise of him. He's throwing punches in combination. You see Silas is starting to get a little frustrated, throwing one punch at a time, which starts to become very easy to counter and predict.
Touch does a great job of sliding just out of the way out of Sia's punches and firing his own combination right back.
That's the nice thing about being the bigger, rangier fighters. You can just breeze inside and outside of your range while still being just barely outside of your opponents.
Here we go at the end of the first. Let's see who finishes strong.
Great first round. Very competitive by both fighters. I'd give that slight edge to Eric Stotch, though.
Yeah, he did a great job. Like you said, he looked very calm, very composed, executed his game plan, and I think he got the win in that first round.
Absolutely. I'd like to see Eric continue to throw straight punches and start closing out some jab 1-2 combinations with high kicks now. He's thrown some low stuff, but he had a little bit of success throwing that lead leg kick at the end of a combination. I'd like to see him continue to throw high kicks at the end of his hand striking combinations. During this break, we'd like to shout out Supreme Michelada Mix, best micheladas that we know of.
All right. Tach's corner is looking like they're asking him to set up that head kick now. Landed in the first round. And like you said, he got a little overzealous, hopped into it, but let's see how he executes the game plan this round. Touch of the gloves, and we're off round number 2 here. Eric Toch versus Santos Cias.
So before throwing the head kick for Eric, my recommendation would be to really start establishing his hands so that his hands become a threat. That's when I would start looking for the leg kick, or head kick. Just coming out and throwing it won't do it. He's got to start setting it up by making his hands a threat so that he's able to hide that head kick behind his hand combinations. Because you can kind of have your hands up for a head kick, but it's not going to absorb all the damage for a head kick. Even with shin pads and headgear on, it still sucks and can do serious damage.
And it does look like Santos is getting a little frustrated here just by the range of Eric Toch. Starting to throw one shot.
Eric's doing a great job of straight attacks and throwing leg kicks and being able to stay just beyond Salas's range. You can tell he's getting a little hesitant because every time he steps in, he sees Eric move back a little. So he knows he's going to be outside of range. Salas has to get inside and stay inside. Each time they clash, he goes all the way outside of range again, which puts him in a disadvantageous position. Once he gets in, he needs to stay in and continue to attack instead of clashing and backing out. As long as they're at this range, Eric is definitely in the better position.
Yeah, Eric does a great job of moving back, but he also angles out every time. He doesn't go straight back and doesn't get caught on the ropes or in the corner. He'll angle out and he'll circle back to the center.
Absolutely. Like I said, Miguel Jacobs has been doing a fantastic job with all the guys at Black House Ronda. Wow. Salas is lucky that that head kick slightly went over his head.
It's a good thing they had those shin guards and headgear on that one. He just missed with that head kick.
Absolutely, and he didn't even see that coming because Eric had been throwing some hands and going for the leg kick, where now the head's open. See, that time he covered his head because he thought it was going high, and Eric was able to land another nice low kick. Salas comes back and throws a low kick of his own.
So 10 seconds in the second.
Salas has got to start fighting to get to the inside, though. He's not winning at this range. This is where Eric wants to fight.
Yeah, and I give that one to Eric Toch again on the
Absolutely.
second. So that's 2-0 to Toch. Looks like Cias is going to need a finish here to win this one.
It's still a close fight, though. It's not like Eric is completely running away with the fight, but if the fight continues in this manner that's been in the last 2 rounds, Eric, I believe, is going to win this fight. Salas has to stay inside. Once he gets inside, he's working too hard and taking damage to get in on the inside. That once he gets in, just let Eric back out. Or each time they clash, allow that space. He's got to stop doing that. Shout out to Ollie Optimal Wellness for helping FightersRep make this happen. If you want to help FightersRep make this happen, click the link below, buy a t-shirt. All proceeds get reinvested back into the company so we can continue to bring you the best fights in Southern California.
All right, and we're going into the third and final round with Eric Toch and Santos Cias. Great.
Both fighters look surprisingly fresh because they've been going at it. The third and final round. Let's see who's going to get some points tonight, Black House or Systems Training Center.
Now, what do you think here, Bulletproof? Does Santos need to finish here to pull this one out?
I believe so. I mean, unless he drops Eric, I could see it being a 10-8, being a draw. I believe to win this fight, Salas has to finish Eric.
Yeah, and I think his
looks
corner.
like Eric is trying to finish this fight too. Both guys want 2 points tonight. Boy, spinning back kick, saves it for the third round and lands it pretty nicely. Not extremely flush, but it got up there and got in Salas's head.
Now you gotta believe Santos' corner also believes he's down in this fight. They're asking him for more pressure to throw more hands.
Well, when they say pressure, they just don't want him here at this range. They don't want him beyond punch range. Because this is where Erich is longer and he's landing, for 2 rounds now, he's landed the better strikes. Salas has to get inside. He's probably used to being the bigger, taller fighter though, being 6'2", so he's probably not used to fighting inside, so I can see why he's not naturally, his natural inclination isn't to get to the inside, but he's got to do something different. If he continues to fight the way he's been fighting the first 2 rounds, he's not going to win this fight. There we go, we're seeing him step forward and have some actual pressure on the inside. He just got to keep that range once he gets inside.
Toch landed a great inside leg kick, one of the first we've seen tonight, a couple seconds ago. Back to that head kick.
See, the way that Erich has established his hands now, if he throws like a 1-2 head kick, you know Santos' hands are going to be high, so whether that kick goes low or high, chances are the kick's going to land. That's what I've been talking about with setting up the kicks. So now that Erich's hands have been established by landing some shots, he's got the availability to close out these hand combinations with powerful kicks, whether it's going low to the legs or high to the head.
Yeah. Seems like Eric Toch having some fun here at the third, throwing a bunch of spinning kicks in the third round. His jumping switch kick.
Both guys leaving it all in the ring in the last 10 seconds.
All right, another exciting fight here at FightersRep 7.
Absolutely. I'd have to give that fight to Erich, 3-0.
Eric Toch,
great performance by both guys. I would have liked to have seen Santos trying to adjust a little bit more and try and get to the inside, but he's probably gonna end up watching some of this tape and make some adjustments in the future. Great performance though. He never stopped fighting and coming forward though.
Both fighters, great performance, but like you said, I would have to give that one to Eric Toch out of the red corner. Maybe reading the book in the locker room might be a new thing.
Yeah, it just says a lot about the coolness and confidence in a guy when you're able to show up to a fist fight and lay down and read a book and enjoy it. Because it shows that you don't have the anxiety that a lot of people will have earlier in their fights, you know? And he really came out and performed very well. And I think that a lot of that attributes to how cool and calm and collected he was coming into this matchup. He definitely fought a very smart fight.
Absolutely, stayed at his range. I'm sure executed the game plan from his corner to a T. And we think it got him a W tonight and some points for his team.
I believe so. I think Black House got their first points of the night. We'll find out in a second with the official decision. While we wait, we'd like to shout out another one of our sponsors, FreightMasters. We love you.
All right, and with the official decision, we're going to go inside of the ring to Thor.
Ladies and gentlemen, all three judges ruled out unanimously. 27, fighting out the red corner,
That was a decision that I believe is correct.
Correct, absolutely.
Great fight by both guys.
And again,
Black House gets their first points of the night on the board, 1 point. So right now we got 2 teams with 3 points leading, Bianca Williams' team and Mark Kamishki. And man, that would be a fantastic fight. Bianca Williams fought at 180 pounds tonight, and then Mark Kamishki fought at 175-pound catchweight. Kamishki was the first fight. He was 6'5", and Bianca Williams was the 6th fight at 6'3". Very similar weight class. Both guys had a ton of power. I would love to watch that matchup. That might have to be a co-main event for the next card.
Absolutely, and I hope they listen. And you know, if they are, they're right around the same weight. You got them matchmakers over here to the right of us, so we might have to have a talk with them after the fight.
Yeah, that'd be a fantastic fight. I would love to watch that fight. Here we got the FightersRep girls are coming in to throw some FightersRep t-shirts out. If you want to get a FightersRep t-shirt of your own, click the link below, buy a t-shirt. All proceeds are reinvested back into FightersRep so we can continue to bring you some of the best fights in Southern California.
Right, this is bout number 10, Eugene Provincia versus Yadier Perez. Both fighters were on the last FightersRep card and had great performances. Eugene fighting out of the yard up in Los Angeles. Like you said earlier, that sports some big names, real scrappy guys. Ladies and gentlemen,
got another fighter coming out of the yard right now.
And this is our first fight of the night where the fighters will not have any headgear. They won't have any shin guards.
Bang, bang. You don't want to get hit by a shin, I'll tell you what. Wow, big crowd in the house for Yadier Perez.
And based on the performances from their last fight at the last FightersRep, this is going to be a great fight. Both guys come out of great camps, and they both bring the fight for sure. All right, this looks like it's gonna be a good one. Another fun fight. No headgear, no shin guards. 3 rounds, 2 minutes. Yadier's got a big crowd out here tonight supporting him right behind Eugene's corner. All right, and for the fighter introductions, we're gonna go inside the ring to Thor. And here we go, bout number 10 of the night, Eugene Provincia and Yadier Perez.
So we got the Yard versus Team Classic right now. 2 big fight teams here in Southern California. Let's see how this goes.
Yep. And again, no headgear, no shin guard, touch of the gloves, and they're off. Yadier comes out swinging. And it's a fist fight.
Oh, nice.
Oh, question mark kick by Eugene. Yadier came out, and these guys are throwing.
Oh, nice
head kick. Oh, good right hand by Eugene. This is right in front of us. They are throwing bombs. Eugene with a head kick of his own.
That's the 3rd time we've seen Yadier land a nice head kick.
Eugene in the corner. Oh, good. Seen some nice shots land on Eugene.
He wobbled him.
We got a standing 8 count. One of those bombs that he threw landed.
Oh, he looks wobbled. We'll see if he gets back in here. He might stop this fight.
Here we go.
He's very close to having this fight stopped right now. The referee
is
looking at him.
The ref. Oh, he eats a big shot right away. Yeah, I don't. Here we go, got another breaking
Eugene is still fighting back though.
Yeah, what a fighter, man. What heart. What heart. And he comes forward and lands a teep of.
He needs to come forward. He can't continue to stand and let Yadier land.
Oh, here we go. He landed. He's landed another big shot.
Stop. There we go.
Fight's over.
Fantastic first round finish. Man. Team Classics on the scoreboard with 3 points.
Man. What a performance by Yadier.
After 3 decisions in a row, we get a first-round stop. Fantastic performance by Yadier. And man, you can really see what taking those shin pads off and landing those leg kicks are. You still see Eugene in the corner a little bit wobbly.
Yeah,
he's not even in his corner. He's in the red corner across. He's supposed to be over in his corner, but he was so wobbly that they weren't able to walk him over there. They just sat him down in the blue corner.
Very disappointing. Yadier getting up on the ropes here, celebrating his victory. A great fight by both fighters, man. Another street fight, throwing bombs.
Absolutely. It wasn't necessarily pretty in terms of technique, but boy, was that fun to watch.
Man, those are the most exciting fights, man. Those are the ones the fans appreciate.
That's why it's called Fighters Rep, baby. Because we have guys who come here and they rep fighting.
Great fight by Yadier. You see the disappointment from Eugene, Provincia. But what a fight by both fighters, man. Great fight. Yadier Perez from the start came out swinging, looking for the finish, and he got exactly that. Landing some big shots on Eugene.
Eugene looks like he is back, walking around normal, hugging Yadier. I love to see the show of respect between two fighters after a fight.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I bet they have nothing but respect for each other after that fight. Both guys came out and they were banging, man.
All right, with the official decision, we're going to go into the ring and we're going to see Thor. Well deserved by Yadier Perez and a great fight by Eugene Provincia. And we're going to get our first interview of the night with Thor, who's with Yadier Perez in the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Some slight technical difficulties. We're going to try to get Thor's mic up and running for the first interview of the night with Yadier Perez after his first round finish here at FightersRep 7, earning 3 points for his team tonight. All right, due to some technical difficulties, we are going to unfortunately miss that interview with Yadier after a great performance. But man, from the start, Yadier came out looking to finish, got exactly that. A great show of heart by Eugene, though, stayed in the fight for as long as he can until the ref stepped in to stop that fight. All right, ladies and gentlemen, in between rounds, we're going to take some time to shout out one of our sponsors, CNEXS Wear. CNEXS Wear for all your apparel needs. Another exciting fight here at FightersRep 7 and another finish. Man, it's been a night full of finishes here at FightersRep 7, and it's going to be interesting to see who takes home that Lions Cup at the end of the night, man. It's a tough one right now. We're going to go inside the ring to Thor with some announcements and the introductions to bout number 11. right, Seth Powell fighting out of the blue corner. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be another fight where there's no headgear and no shin guards, and you saw the damage that can cause when there's no shin guards. Even a kick that's partially blocked can cause some kind of damage to the head. Seth Powell fighting out of 29 Palms, another Marine here tonight. He has a 3-0 record in kickboxing, fighting out of another Marine. So he's fighting at 172 here.
So Seth Powell has a lot of experience. He's 3-0 in kickboxing and 6-5 in amateur MMA. That means this guy has 14 fights. Wow, that is a lot of experience for an amateur.
Fighting out of the blue corner, Mr. John Elvis.
Big cheer for John Elvis Angelo fighting out of Van Nuys. We got another Saxon Muay Thai guy coming out right now. And if I remember correctly, I believe Saxon has 2 or 3 points on the board already. Yeah, 2 points when Shawn Bradley beat Brandon West earlier in the 2nd round. A win here would put Saxon Muay Thai, if he's able to put him away, just a regular win getting 1 point would tie him for the leaders board. If he gets 2 or more points, that puts Saxon in 1st place on the leaderboards to take home tonight's Lions Cup.
Ladies and gentlemen,
And for the fighter introductions, we're going to go inside the ring to Thor.
Cheer for Elvis. Saxon is in the house tonight. Man, both guys, again, calm and collect, ready to bang. Zev, I'm not surprised. Having 14 fight experience, I'm not surprised. But Elvis is 4-0, sporting an undefeated record in kickboxing. Zev is also undefeated at 3-0 in kickboxing. This should be a nice fight right here. Let's see whose O is gonna go.
Here we go. Someone's O gotta go.
Someone's O gotta go, baby.
Official time to start.
Let's see, you gotta take his shirt off. What's going on right now?
I think he forgot to take his shirt off.
Or tuck it in.
Oh, he's gonna have it tucked in here. All right, and here we go. We're gonna resume the action here. Seth Powell and John Angulo.
You see Zev's MMA experience coming in. He came in and threw a combination and immediately went for double underhooks, which is a fantastic place to be in MMA, but that's not allowed here at FightersRep with the Glory Kickboxing Unified rules.
Yeah, and neither are low blows, so we're gonna have a quick break in the action there after that low kick.
Elvis is really looking for that rear head kick. We got guys.
Good timing on that leg kick there.
We got guys in the open stance, meaning one guy's orthodox and one guy's standing southpaw, which really changes the dynamic of how striking works when each guy's power hand is on the opposite side of what they're used to seeing. And a big thing that's dangerous in the open stance for both guys is the rear head kick. Because of the wide amount of space that's open, you can really generate a lot of force and get a good amount of KOs with that lead or with the rear head kick with an open stance.
Good leg kick there.
Something also notable that's dangerous in the open stance is throwing a rear leg kick at your opponent's lead leg. That's how Anderson Silva broke his leg when he was fighting against Chris Weidman. So it's something that you have to be cautious of. But the head kick's a lot more available. However, the low kick is definitely a lot more dangerous. Dangerous for the person throwing it as well as receiving it.
Elvis looks very calm, backing up, picking his spots to fire his shots. Zev putting pressure on him. Leg kick.
Elvis is significantly more strategic, and those low kicks that he's setting up and picking are going to start making a big difference if this fight goes into the later rounds.
Yeah, and the head kick he landed earlier, like we were saying, without the shin guards on, even though it's partially blocked, it still has a pretty big impact on the fighter.
Yeah, that's like a baseball swinging at you and hitting you in the forearms. It's better than your head, but it's still going to suck.
Oh yeah, 10 seconds here in the first. Eugene
Good head movement by Elvis there, moving back.
Good leg kick.
Picking those leg kicks and picking at his opponent. Chipping away at him.
Good first round there.
Absolutely. Elvis is doing a good job of changing the angles and using his head movement so he's not taking damage while he's moving around. I give that round to Elvis.
Yeah, 100% agree. Great first round by Elvis. Let's see what
Elvis looks confident. He's in the corner dancing around right now, and Zev's sitting down. Zev just popped up off the stool, but just looking at the body language of these two, Elvis looks significantly more confident at the closing of that first round. I gave that round to him, not necessarily by a lot, but look at the body language of the two fighters right now. Man, Elvis looks like he could potentially start taking off with this fight.
Let's see if
he
Zev
seems a lot more efficient about his motion and not wasting much energy. Not that Zev's wasting energy, but Elvis is sitting down and moving when he needs to move instead of just moving.
Yeah, let's see what kind of adjustments the red corner Seth Powell makes coming into this second round and see if he can get this round back, because like you said, I would agree with you. Eugene did get that first round.
Wow, Zev's left eye looks a little bit swollen. I did not notice that.
I don't know if that's from maybe it was from the head kick earlier, but he's coming out putting the pressure on. Elvis does a good job circling out of the corner.
I'm interested to see what happened with Zev's left eye, because that's not the power side that Elvis is throwing from, so I'm not sure when that happened. But these two guys have been clashing, so I'm not surprised that we're starting to see damage on either guy's face.
Yeah, his eye's swollen pretty good.
Both guys staying inside the pocket and exchanging. This is an exciting fight.
Good left.
That was a dangerous knee thrown there by Zev. Had that landed, that would have done some damage to Elvis. Elvis just eats a leg kick, but he did not seem concerned about it. There didn't seem to be too much heat on him. But you cannot just take damage.
Eugene looks very calm, backing up, circling off the ropes. Ate a right hand, but he's fine, right back in it. Oh, another good right hand by Powell.
Absolutely, Powell can really start establishing that right hand. Because of Elvis seems so calm and collect, if he's able to step in and really land that right hand, surprise Elvis with it.
Eugene looking for that big overhand right. Oh, good body kick by Eugene.
Yeah, it's really interesting seeing Elvis. He's throwing an overhand right, but that's actually his lead hand. It's almost an overhand hook as opposed to a rear overhand. And it's actually kind of landing because Zev's a much taller opponent. That overhand right is a very dangerous weapon. And it being the opposite stance, an open stance, it's crazy to see it landing as more of an overhand hook than a rear overhand.
I think Powell may be getting a little frustrated with his inability to hit Eugene here. Ooh. Eugene, great job moving out of the way after his shots.
Absolutely. Wow. Well, Elvis is staying in the pocket, and he's not necessarily taking damage because of his head movement. Definitely getting the better of Zev. Zev's eye doesn't look any worse, though, going into the third round as it did going into the second.
But I definitely give that round to Eugene, too. So second round to Eugene, first one to Eugene. Zev's down 2 rounds here from what we see, or I see. Oh, Elvis. Well, Elvis is up 2 rounds, right?
Yeah, John Elvis. Angelo.
The red.
Elvis looks very calm in his corner, very little damage on his face, and Julio's really spitting some good game in his ear. I'm interested to hear what's going on over in Seth Powell's corner. Yeah. He's got an ice pack on his face. Body language, man, it looks like Elvis is in a much better position in this fight, but you cannot count Zev out right now because Zev is throwing some heat too, and neither of these guys have shin pads on. All it takes is one shin to the head, and that's it.
Zev did find that right hand for a little bit. We're going to take an official break, and we're going to ask the doctor to take a look at the eye here. So the doctor will come and take a look at Zev Powell's eye.
I don't think it's going to be bad enough for the referee to stop it, but it's all about fighter safety here at FightersRep.
All right, doctor says he's good. We're going to go on with the third round.
There we go. Zev's got, in my opinion, Zev's got to really bring it to him right here.
Yeah.
I think both guys have to bring it to him. I wouldn't say that
Elvis has necessarily ran away with the fight. So he's definitely got to put a stamp on this fight here in the third. Elvis looking for that uppercut after his corner calls out for it. Good switch kick there by Powell.
Elvis looking for the high kick again. I'm surprised we're not seeing more use of the kicks higher up by both these guys.
I'm really impressed by Elvis, his ability to pick his shots, tag him, move, not get hit. Even though Zev has been pushing the pace, bringing the pressure. Oh, good left hand. Good head kick there.
Elvis has landed some shots. Not enough to wobble Zev, but definitely did some damage with a few of those strikes there.
And putting the stamp on this fight like we asked.
But Zev's not backing out. Zev is stepping up to the challenge and banging right back.
Left hand.
Zev's corner's loving having Elvis in the corner. He needs to capitalize on this position.
30 seconds here in the third and final round. Let's see. Big left hand there by Elvis.
We're gonna see who's got in the tank right now. Last 10 seconds and they're banging.
Here we go, let's see who wants this more. Another exciting fight here at FightersRep 7. What a fight, another great fight.
I'm gonna give that one to Elvis. I think Saxon is tied on the leaders board with 3 points right now after that fight.
Big win by Elvis there for his team. Did a great job, very impressive victory. Hats off to Zev out in the red corner. Brought the pressure, didn't back down. Kept fighting all the way to the end. But if I had to say, I'd have to give it to the blue corner, Elvis. Another exciting fight here.
While we wait for the official decision, we'd like to thank another one of our sponsors, CNEXS Wear. Shout out to CNEXS Wear.